It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catafamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you with us in studio today. We are sitting down with new Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Paul.
It has been so long since I've talked to you. We talked before the show, and last time Amy was actually in studio sitting down with me was back when you went to Quantico and you had just gotten back. Refresh my old memory.
Yes, that was probably in 2014, and a lot has happened since then, that's for sure.
No kidding, right? I was pulling up the little bio that I got from you off your website this morning, which is prescott-az.gov, and then you can find the police department right from there as well. But yeah, you became when I first started talking to you, were you lieutenant?
I think so, yes.
I think you were Lieutenant Amy Bonney is while you were on the stories all the time. Then you were promoted deputy chief in 2016.
Yes.
And then Chief Black retired, and voila, here you are.
Voila, yeah.
So what's it like?
It's wonderful. It's been a long journey, it feels like, but it is certainly an opportunity, and I could not wish to lead a better group of men and women, and just a tremendous privilege to have this opportunity to serve, that's for sure.
When you say that, do you guys have a lot of turnover at the Prescott Police Department, or do your officers pretty much stick around?
Most of them stick around. You know, we've had a lot of long-serving officers that over 20 to 30 years that they fall off. But no, we have a lot of people that spend their career here, and it's really a great opportunity and cool to watch them progress through their careers and watch them develop and change into different specialties and lead others themselves. So it's a big family, and they're just great.
I saw your recent award ceremony that you did. You were handing out plaques to officers that were moving up in rank, I believe is what it was, or they were being awarded something. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. Let me ask you this. Is this the job you've always wanted? Is this what you were working for from the very beginning? Did you think you'd become chief of police?
No. When I started this job over 23 years ago now, I certainly didn't look at this, the chief of police as, oh, that's what I really want to do. It just sort of progressed that way, and through different promotions and opportunities, I just grew and really just determined that was kind of the path that I wanted to take, but it certainly wasn't where I began. And I have to tell you, 22-year-old me sitting and looking at where I am now, I never in a million years would have believed that this would be the result, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. I bet. Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's pretty cool. You're all the way up to chief of police, so that's pretty neat. That's really neat. One thing you wanted to make sure we talked about was the accreditation that was recently given to the Prescott Police Department. Now, that's renewed accreditation. Is that correct?
No. This is our very first accreditation, and I am so incredibly proud of the work that this department did. So there's a couple of different accreditation entities out there, and what we decided to go with was a state accreditation that's through the Arizona Association of Chiefs of Police. And we began that process just over a year ago, actually. And we worked through it. It was a labor of love, I'll tell you. But the great thing about it was that we were able to look at the standards that they had. And there was 174 standards that we had to prove that we were complying with and prove that we had met or exceeded in each of those cases. And we found a wonderful woman named Stacy Olson to manage our accreditation, and she came alongside of us and really got all of our ducks in a row, and we were able to be successful in getting our accreditation award in just 366 days. So I think we set a land speed record, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the things you have to make sure in order to get the accreditation? What are some of the things you have to have those ducks in a row, you say?
So we had to have all of our training in compliance, make sure that every training was documented, and little things and big things. So little things, I say, to making sure that we have all the right equipment in our cars, everything from first aid kits to binoculars. So those kinds of things, but also big things like making sure that all of our training records were in compliance, making sure that all of our logs with detention facilities were in compliance, making sure that everybody had read and acknowledged all of their policies and was adhering to their policies. And one thing that was, would probably make sense to a lot of people is that when we handcuff people and we have to arrest people, we handcuff them, we do what's called double locking the handcuffs so that they don't get any tighter in the back of the car. And so we had to prove through video and photographs and reports that that's our daily practice, and searching our cars before and after arrests. So it really is a 360-degree deep dive into best practice and professional practices in an organization. And the entity that issued our accreditation, the Arizona Association of Chiefs of Police, this outside entity looking in at what we do and just confirming that we are doing everything we possibly can to be a modern, well-run, and well-equipped police department.
All right. Now, you became deputy chief back in 2016. So
Yes.
you were under Chief Black for 4 years, 5 years?
4.5 years.
Four and a half years. So what was it like working with Chief Black? And then that had totally set you up for moving into this position right now. But how did you guys work together? Really well?
We worked together so well. And, her experience was just vast. She came from 25 years at the Phoenix Police Department and then another just about 10 years at the Glendale Police Department. And so she brought a lot of experience from larger agencies that really gelled with the experience and the realities of a smaller agency. And I will say, when she first came here, one of the very first things that happened was we had a call and she's like, well, where's the helicopter and where's the air support? And we said, Chief, we don't have that. And she didn't. So getting used to that. But once we were over that hurdle, her experience and her leadership just really helped to put our department into a position to just continue to be successful, and really modernized a lot of our practices. And she was a fantastic leader for us, and we certainly will miss her. But working alongside of her really helped me develop in areas that I didn't really realize at the time that I needed to focus on. But she was a tremendous mentor and a tremendous leader, and certainly helped to develop me to put me in a position to be successful.
Are you shooting for that helicopter now?
Well, no, we have drones
No.
though.
What's that?
So the sheriff's office has one that we use as a regional asset, and they will launch it anytime we need it. But we really have taken a large step with our technology in terms of our drone program. So that's really cool. I don't know that we necessarily need a helicopter, although if somebody gave us, we'd take it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So drones. You guys are utilizing drones though, huh? On a regular basis. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And just an example of that is we use them to help map out our crime scenes and to map out our accidents. So we've had a few really tragic accidents, particularly along State Route 89. And in the past, where we would have to close down highways for long stretches of time to hand measure accidents for evidence purposes, now we still have to close them down. We still have to gather that evidence, but we can do it in a much quicker fashion because we launch the drones, and the drones will grid pattern. They'll fly all of that area. They'll measure everything for us, and then we stitch it together with the information that we gather from our ground technology, and it develops a beautifully made 3D image of everything that we can use in court if we need to, and we can use as evidence. And it's amazing. I didn't think I would ever see anything like this in my time as a peace officer.
Wow.
It's cool.
Wow. Yeah, and you don't have to have anybody in the area either, so everyone stays much safer that way too. Let's take
Absolutely.
our first break. Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney in studio with us today. Prescott-az.gov will take you to the city's website, and of course you can find the police agency from there. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Who doesn't dream of home improvements? Perhaps your kitchen, the real living room. Maybe the bathroom, where you bookend your day. Langstrand Contracting is your one-stop shop from tear down to finishing touches. With 35 years of experience, Chris and his team will work with you to match your family's style and budget. Call Langstrand Contracting today for guidance in bringing your vision to life.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at Gettle'sHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettle's.
Welcome back to Countywide. Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney in studio with us today. The website for the city is prescott-az.gov. Prescott, of course, Police Department has their own Facebook page as well. You can find them there also. So let's talk about crime in Prescott. I'm sure you've lived there most of your life, right? If not all your life, correct?
Yep. I was born here.
You know, back in the day when I first started doing news, having a homicide was something that occurred maybe once or twice a year throughout all of Yavapai County. You just didn't have many of those, and now it seems we have them more on a regular basis, unfortunately, just to use that as an instance. But how is crime in the city of Prescott?
Well, we're kind of holding steady, and one of the things that we're really focusing our efforts on right now is, of course, drugs, and working just those regional partnerships to enhance our ability to investigate drug-related crimes and specifically drug-related deaths. And tragically, we keep seeing, you know, this big bad fentanyl that is out there. And I think everybody's probably heard of fentanyl, and that's good, but we still want to raise awareness about it because its effects are absolutely devastating on our community. And we keep seeing overdoses and recovered overdoses, which is good. We issued Narcan to all of our officers, or naloxone, several years ago, and I am constantly shocked at how often we use it. So that's kind of a double-edged sword because we issue this and we want to save lives, and we do save lives by using Narcan, but the rate at which we use it is surprising. And still, unfortunately, we still lose people on a regular basis that are falling victim to fentanyl. And so we're, you know, working with PANT and working with our county attorney's office to really hunt down those drug dealers, and working hard and very diligently to, when we can connect the pieces, to actually go after people for the dealers for drug-related homicide charges when we can put those pieces together.
I guess with the drugs, you know, when somebody's trying to reach that high constantly, I mean, that's when you get your burglaries coming in. You got your robberies coming in. So you think that's the root of all evil right there, kind of the drugs for a lot of the crimes, I would imagine? I
don't know if we can, I don't know if there's one thing, but certainly it doesn't help. And watching the devastation that occurs within families and in the workplace, and just the wake that it leaves behind is absolutely heartbreaking. And if we can just get you know, folks to understand the dangers that surround it, I don't think there's anybody that starts out using drugs and thinking that they're going to end up as a lifelong addict, and certainly isn't a choice that anybody would make if they knew the outcome. So just educating and hopefully, yes, there's definitely a piece for the prosecution and holding people accountable, but also as a community, we're really doing a much better job of offering resources and plugging people into pre-diversion through the county when we can, and really helping to offer them as many opportunities to get better and to improve their lives along the way as we possibly can, just as a community. And that's really what's going to help dig us out of this hole, is just this kind of holistic approach to all of these issues in our community, because you're correct. With those issues comes the property crime, and comes the domestic violence, and comes the impaired driving, which affects people completely outside of these folks' circles. So it really is a community problem, and something that we all need to pay attention to.
MadForce sent us a press release recently. Madforce.org is the website. Anybody wants more information about drug issues, any kind of drug issue, you can go to madforce.org and find out more about that. But their most recent one is that younger people are now able to order these blue pills. They're usually blue, so that's what we got to watch for. If you see blue pills sitting on your kid's dresser or nightstand or something like that, check it out. M30, I believe, is what's usually stamped on those. They're able to buy these things online and just get them mailed to their house. That just seems surprising to me.
Yeah, and we work to hunt down those sources whenever we can, but the ease at which people are able to gain access to these drugs is alarming. And so it really is important that we pay attention to everything in our world, and what's going on in other states and trends that are moving our direction, so that we can work to get in front of them so that we don't lose any more kids.
Okay, before we hit our second break here, defunding police, that has been a topic that has been brought up numerous times over the last year. Where's your stance on that one? What do you think of that?
Well, I'm thankful that in our community that isn't even a topic of discussion, and I think people don't really understand what that means when they talk about that movement. Really what most mainstream people think about is ways that we can more effectively use our resources to combat issues in our community. But what it's really turned into is really a movement that's just filled with rhetoric that is so dangerous and so harmful to our communities and to the people that really step up to serve in our police departments. And we remain grateful that our community is supportive of us. And like I said, that hasn't even been a discussion in our community, because you look at what that movement and that sentiment has created across the country and in bigger cities. And that certainly isn't something that we want to see happening here. It's not going to solve any problems. And it's important that we really pay attention to it and engage in those difficult conversations when we have issues that we need to tackle together. But it definitely is something that we pay attention to, but I'm thankful that we haven't had those discussions here. Doesn't seem to be a sentiment that people want to latch onto in our area, which is good.
Because when I dial 911, I want to make sure one of you show up. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's take our second break. Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney is with us today. Prescott-az.gov is the website. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Terrifying jobs. Bull Rider, take two.
Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
Two things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
The EPA says C&B Construction ranks in the top 1% nationally. C&B Construction invites you to see what energy efficiency and indoor air quality can be. We have won another Department of Energy Innovation Award, and C&B Construction is the only contractor in the country to win 6 consecutive EPA Indoor Air Plus awards. Experience our zero-energy, move-in ready homes at Crossroads at Mingus.
C&B Construction, locally respected, nationally recognized. Find out more at candbhomes.com.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family friendly, open 11:30 to 9. Late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Welcome back to Countywide. Just a few minutes left of the program with Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney. Prescott-az.gov is the city's website. Are you hiring?
We are hiring. We're hiring specifically right now for our dispatchers, our public safety dispatchers. So Prescott is responsible, the city of Prescott and the Prescott Police Department specifically are responsible for managing our regional 911 center, which is called Prescott Regional Communications Center. So we dispatch for 8 police and fire agencies across this section of Yavapai County, and we are always looking for people that are willing to step up and answer that call. And I don't think people really have an understanding of what public safety dispatching entails, but it really is an amazing opportunity to serve. And what we find is that people who have always been interested in those service and those helping professions find a really good fit in public safety dispatching. So they are the ones that answer those 911 calls. They're the ones that help with CPR when it needs to be given. They're the ones that help provide instructions prior to our police and fire professionals arriving on scene. And we are always hiring for those people that want to, like I said, step up and answer that call.
That's an important job. That is important. During the break, you said you have 75 sworn officers for the Prescott Police. Are you all positions filled, or?
They are all filled right now with 3 actually recruits in the police academy. So that's kind of a squishy number, if you will, because we don't have those bodies actually on the street. We've got 2 people in training right now, and they're going to be finishing up their field training in a couple of weeks, probably about 6 weeks. And then we've got 3 recruits that are in the police academy, and they just started the police academy. So they'll graduate in December, and they will be out on the street solo in probably July of next year. So those numbers are fluctuating, and always important to keep an eye on those because, yes, those seats are filled, but they're not really actually bodies on the street quite yet.
Okay. I wanted to thank you, too, for Lieutenant John Brambilla.
Yeah.
Your Lieutenant John he does a really good job of getting the press releases out to us. And then, I get in very early in the morning, so I will email him when I get in. And he usually responds back right away, which I'm always shocked. It's like, okay, he must not sleep either. And but he always gets back to me in a very timely fashion, and I appreciate Lieutenant John Brambilla because he does it just the way you used to do it, right? I mean, it was the same way you used to do the job, which has always been very nice.
Thank you.
So
Thanks. I'll let him know.
Yeah, I appreciate having his help with the news when we need it. We've got about a minute left. Any other crimes going on in the city of Prescott that really need to be highlighted? Tagging, vehicle thefts, car break-ins?
I'll just say, we have people who move here from other areas, and I really appreciate when I hear how safe people feel, and that's a really good feeling as a chief to hear that people feel safe in our community. But we can only keep people safe with the partnership and with the cooperation of our community. And so one of the things that we stress all the time is, yes, we are a very safe community. We're so incredibly blessed here, but there still is a responsibility on the part of our citizenry and on the part of the people that live and work here. And that is keep your things locked up. If you keep your doors locked, and especially in your cars, we can really reduce those opportunistic crimes that happen in parking lots and in areas across our community. So just little things that we can all do to drive those those things down is really important, and make sure that you keep your property and yourselves very safe.
Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with me today. That is Prescott Police Chief Amy Bonney. Again, website prescott-az.gov. That has been today's Countywide. Thank you for watching, listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye, everybody.